Have you ever wondered what the final chapters of humanity might look like, according to biblical prophecy? How would the world as we know it come to an end? Let's embark on a journey through the prophetic chronicles of the end times. Firstly, the rapture will occur. This is when Christ removes all born-again believers from the earth, as stated in the books of Thessalonians and Corinthians. At the judgment seat of Christ, these believers will either be rewarded for their good deeds and faithful service on earth, or lose rewards due to lack of service and obedience. Then comes the rise of the Antichrist, also known as the Beast. This figure will come into power and sign a covenant with Israel for 7 years, as prophesied in the book of Daniel. This span of 7 years is referred to as the tribulation. It will be a time of devastating wars, famines, plagues, and natural disasters. The wrath of God will be poured out against sin, evil, and wickedness. This period will also see the appearance of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and the terrifying 7 seal, trumpet, and bowl judgments. Halfway through the tribulation, the Antichrist will break the peace covenant with Israel and wage war against it. The Antichrist will commit the Abomination of Desolation, setting up an image of himself to be worshipped in the rebuilt Jerusalem temple. The second half of the tribulation is referred to as the Great Tribulation and the time of Jacob's trouble. At the conclusion of the 7-year tribulation, the Antichrist will launch a final attack on Jerusalem, leading to the Battle of Armageddon. Jesus Christ will return, annihilate the Antichrist and his armies, and cast them into the lake of fire. Christ will then bind Satan in the abyss for 1,000 years, ruling his earthly kingdom during this millennium. Following the 1,000 years, Satan will be released, defeated once more, and cast into the lake of fire for eternity. Christ then judges all unbelievers at the great white throne judgment, casting them too into the lake of fire. Finally, Christ ushers in a new heaven and earth and the new Jerusalem, the eternal dwelling place of believers. Here, there will be no more sin, sorrow, or death. In essence, the end times prophecy presents a sequence of events that begins with the rapture, followed by the rise of the Antichrist, the tribulation, the return of Christ, and concludes with the establishment of a new heaven and earth. This prophecy, steeped in symbolic language and imagery, offers a glimpse into what the Bible declares will happen in the end times. The interpretation of these events varies, but the sequence provides a general overview of what to expect according to biblical prophecy.